Hello and welcome back to another Doujin review from White Album 2. Now today we're going to be looking at a discussion book surrounding White Album 2. So it's only one of two of its kind that I've seen. And I'll explain in a little more detail coming up. But first, let's take a look at the cover here. So we have White Album 2, Kansai Round Table Book. Now, the art in this is really, really, really nice. I really like this. I think it looks really unique. Obviously, it has Setsuna and Kazusa in their wedding dresses, but the way that the artist chose to shade this is really what gets me, because usually in any kind of anime style, these little lines here, which are dark in the book, they would usually be light. They would be highlights. But this artist chose to do highlights darker than the regular hair. And so you kind of get this interesting, striking balance between the different strands of hair. I don't know. I just think it's really, really nice. So, and then we have our mini Haruki down at the bottom. He's so cute. So the art on the cover is incredible. Now, opening up, it says warning. Now, first of all, it does mention down here there are spoilers for the game, the anime, what have you. Make sure you finish everything before you read this book. Now, this book is Kazusa versus Setsuna. So the premise of this entire book is basically, who is the better wife, Kazusa or Setsuna? Who deserves to be with Haruki, whose ending makes the most sense, is the happiest, etc. That is what this discussion is based around. Now, what I do like about this is that immediately afterwards it says, yes, this book is an argument, but we're not going to be arguing, in essence, is what it means. So while, yes, they are trying to figure out who is best girl, they want to be open to other opinions, and they encourage the reader to do the same. So I think that's really kind and really nice. I don't like the arguments that fans tend to get into over which girl is better, because honestly, everyone could probably agree there are pros and cons to both. So realistically, these kinds of discussions are really nice and really healthy, and I just really enjoyed this book. I do highly recommend it. So moving into the book itself, so here there are 8 different paragraphs. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on this page, and then 4 on the next. Now, what these are profiles of the different people who are going to be discussing throughout the book. Now, some of them are doujinshi writers, some artists, some editors, and some just are self-proclaimed otaku. So we got kind of a nice bunch of people. What I do like in these introductory pages are, if you look next to the names here, it will say which girl they prefer from the different heroines from White Album 2. So the moderator, the main person here, is a Kazusa fan. Moving down here, they are a Mari-san fan, the one and only Mari-san in this book. Then down here we have Setsuna. So they are a Setsuna fan here and a Setsuna fan down here as well. So Setsuna's winning on the right page. But then moving over here, we have another Setsuna. And then Kazusa and Kazusa and Kazusa. So all in all, there are 4 Kazusa fans, 3 Setsuna fans, and 1 Mari-san fan. And I feel like that's actually a pretty good representation of the Japanese fan base. There are slightly more Kazusa fans, though Setsuna does have an incredible fan base here as well. And then the third most is always Mari-san, because Japanese people tend to really like that office lady look. So she's definitely very popular over here. So moving into the discussion, how they have it set up is each person is represented by the first hiragana of their name. And then you have their direct quote. So this wasn't a book written by all these people. This was actually a transcription of their discussion. hence it being called Round Table Discussion Book. And what they go through are just the various parts of White Album 2. So does Setsuna only like Haruki because she's scared of loneliness? Does Kazusa really love Haruki for who he is? Or is she just, incapable of living on her own? And they dive deep into a lot of the things, and that's the premise of the entire book. The entire book remains that way. It is just a discussion among these 8 people, but it's very interesting to see how they can talk and get along without fighting, because it takes a lot of maturity to do so. They just have fun. It's like friends discussing theories about a game. It's all in good fun, so I do highly, highly recommend checking this out. The special thanks, some of the reasonings why the moderator chose to be a Kazusa fan, and etc. And then we move into the contact information and the names of all of the contributors to this book. So you can see this was written in 2014, November 3rd. November 3rd is kind of an odd time for a book release. Usually doujinshis are released at a Comiket, which is the Japanese comic market, but that's held in the summer and in the winter, in late December. So a November release is pretty rare. And then all of their different information, their Twitters. Twitter is very, very popular for doujinshi artists. And then we come to the end with this incredibly adorable art on the back. Setsuna and Kazusa, presumably drunk. Either that or they argued so much they passed out. It doesn't really say. And our Haruki, not really knowing what's going on as usual, but we love him for it. And one of the people discussing this book actually did the art for this book as well. So very talented there. So thank you so much for joining me on this doujinshi review from White Album 2, and I will be doing more doujin reviews in the future. So I hope to see you there, and until then, I hope you take care. See you!